I think that Doc Rivers or Ben Simmons won't be there next season.
Welcome to Her Sports Convo with Ashleigh Wilson.
Hey y'all, crazy to see you here for the special NBA Game 7 Round 3 semifinal conference. I don't know what you call it. We're here on a Tuesday. I just could not, in my hearts of heart, not talk about this week. And next week, I'm going on vacation. And I just couldn't do it. I was going to put it on the Instagram, but I was like, this is too good. I have too much to say to just put it on an IGTV. Like, I have too much to say. It's going to be too good. So, first thing first, Philadelphia fans, Sixers fans, Ben Simmons fans, if there's some out there, I'm so sorry. Like, that had to be so hard to see. And is it time you finally stop trusting the process? Like, I get trust the process. It's a great idea. It's a great theory. It's a great motto. But when you've been trusting the process for 10 years and now the process is kind of like, like it's not working in your best interest anymore. It's kind of more of just like a fun little saying instead of something they're actively doing. Because as a fan, you literally have to trust the process. But as a player, you can actively change and see how the process goes. I'm not saying that you should stop being a Sixers fan, but I'm also saying that the rest of the NBA community and the NBA fans and basketball fans in general, we're giving you the opportunity and the just, and you will get no bars will be held against you. No one will be mad at you if you decide to bandwagon, if you decide to hop off the Philadelphia 76ers train, because they've been trusting the process for 10 years and nothing's happened. They got close. I mean, this year I really thought they could do it. I at least thought they'll make it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. I had no expectation that they were going to lose to the Hawks. No shame to the Hawks. Like, they've played very well this playoffs. But the 76ers were up 26 points, and then they were up 18 points in the last game, and they still lost by more than 1 point. Like, maybe we could kind of understand if you lost by 1 point, but you lost by like almost 10 points, and you're not bringing your A game, you're not bringing your best capabilities to this game, and you have players who, again, never played a game of basketball in my life, but Joel Embiid wants to be a superstar. Like, he wants to be the MVP. He wants that notability. He wants to be up there with your LeBrons, your KDs, your Steph Currys, your Djokovic, all those people. But when it comes to the big moments, he doesn't always step up. He doesn't always step up at the end. He's very loud, proud in the beginning. But when the game is tied down to the end, he doesn't always step up as a player and also as the star. Because when you're the star, what are you ultimately? The team captain. And he should have, been encouraging his teammates. Like, hey, we might be down. We might let the scoring go. But, we got to figure it out. Or he should have put the team on his back and figured it out. Because as we saw, Ben Simmons, bless his heart, he was not having a last good game 6, game 7. As game 6, he went out, after basically the first quarter, and they put in Tyrese Maxey. And big props to Tyrese Maxey. He has been a shining star in all of this. Even though this has not been very good for the 76ers, him and Matisse Thybulle have been very good shining stars. Matisse has been playing great defense for them, and Tyrese Maxey has been playing great offense. And I feel like that's how this series went to 7 games. Because if it wasn't for them, I honestly don't think they would have made it to game 5. Like, I don't think they would have made it past game 5 if we're keeping it a buck, as the kids say, because they don't have the Tobias Harris is there and he's a scorer. He plays defense and he gets it done. Seth Curry, great player. Seth Curry has made his money this playoffs. That is the one thing that he's really done this series as well. But when it comes to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, who are supposed to be the backbone of your team, who are supposed to be, the rocks you're trying to trust the process around, I don't think they're working well together. And I think that's where the foundation is getting broken up between, that and, the Doc Rivers curse. It's inevitable. We all know about the Doc Rivers curse. It's true. Personally, my personal opinion, you can say I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments down below if you're watching on YouTube, or let me know on Instagram if you're listening to the audio version. I think that Doc Rivers or Ben Simmons won't be there next season. If I had to choose between the two, Ben Simmons is going to be gone. I think I'm pretty sure I said this, if not on the podcast or on the Instagram stories, that they should have traded Ben Simmons for James Harden. It made so much more sense. It was a great deal for not only Houston, but Philadelphia as well, because I don't think Ben Simmons needs to be in Philadelphia anymore. I think he's done that. Not say that he's done it and moved around it and moved on from it, but I do think that so much has happened in his time at Philadelphia and his time in that city that he just needs a restart. And the best place to restart, I'm not saying it is Houston because they got a lot of issues, but they have the pieces and they have, you know, the heart and the will, and they're more likely going to win the lottery on Tuesday, which is today for y'all, that, you know, I think it would have been better. And obviously that deal is on the table anymore. And now they just kind of have to give up something, which 9 out of 10 is going to be a lottery pick. And I don't know. I want the best for Ben Simmons. He's a good basketball player. He seems like a very nice person as well. But I think his time in Philadelphia is up. You can't have the Ben Simmons quote unquote curse now and the Doc curse that is, you know, real, we all know of, on top of Joel Embiid, who's not really being your superstar at the moment. He's kind of pulling up when the times are crunch. He's like making very rash decisions, like, oh, let me go drive to the hole when there's 19 people in there, or oh, let me go do this. And again, Joel Embiid, very good basketball player, but he's not being the star you need when you're in a game 7 and your season is on the line, especially you're the number 1 seed, you're playing on your home court. When all of those situations are happening right there in front of your face, your stars should show up. Your stars should be the leader of your team. Seth Curry was the star of this entire series, along with Tyrese Maxey. And again, I'm going to say it again, Matisse Thybulle. They kept the Sixers in the series, along with Tobias Harris and all those other people who were very dependable. But you got to figure out your superstars, because I believe that they're unlike these other teams who have a superstar and don't have help. They have the help, but not the superstar. That's all I'm going to say on that. But congrats to the Hawks for what they did. I mean, who believed other than the Hawks? The Hawks were the only people that believed, and Hawks fans. And I'm happy for them. You know, they had that really long rebuilding period after they were the number 1 season, 2014-2015 season. And now they're like, you know, they've technically trust the process, and the process has actually worked for them now. But I do have to say that Trae Young did not play his best game on Sunday. We all saw it. We know it. But the people around Trae Young stepped up, and it worked out for them. That, yes, Trae Young didn't have his best game, but the other people had their best game, and he still knew how to make the people around him work, even though he knew it wasn't like all the pieces weren't fitting together. You could tell he was getting frustrated. He got that technical foul, which I don't think that technical foul should have been a technical foul, but it is what it is. And I just want the best for them. I do. Do you know how fun it would be to see the Hawks and the Suns in the finals? Like, that would be so fun. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Trae Young, Kevin Herter, whatever he says last name. He had a great game. I'm pretty sure like now it's like Trae Young and him like are the stars of Atlanta today, or probably at least for the next week. He really kept him in the game. Like, I think that would be so much fun to see the young talent in the NBA finals. Because, you know, usually if you're I almost said a freshman. If you're a rookie or, you know, barely a veteran, it takes you like 5-6 years to get to a conference final. And they've done it, and they're like in their, it's Devin Booker's like 5th year? 4th year? And Trae Young's like 3rd year? That's very good. That's very good. And I just, that would be so fun. Let me know wherever you know I can find you at. And tell me how would you feel about a Hawks and the Suns finals. I know people are like, no one wants to see these children in the finals, blah, blah, blah. The NBA is not going to make money. Who cares? Like, just watch basketball. Like, after we went through all the craziness and buffoonery we went through in 2020, like, don't you just want to watch basketball? Who cares about how much money, you know, Pine Sol is going to spend on a commercial during the finals? No one cares. Everyone wants to watch people who are good at basketball play basketball in a very competitive way. And another game that was interesting was the game 7 of the Bucks and the Nets. I kind of knew deep down in my heart that the Nets were not going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals their first year. I'm saying their first year because they have literally a different team. That team did not exist at the beginning of the season. And you had Kyrie out, you had James Harden out. KD played his absolute best in game 7 and game 5. And he did it on game 7 as well, and it just wasn't enough. And you could tell he was tired. I mean, they went into overtime. He made that ridiculous shot to take the game into overtime. And I did like his comment saying my big foot kept us out of the Eastern Conference Final, and everyone, if you're not on the internet, everyone was like finding all these pictures of him and his feet. Some of them looked a little edited to like exaggerate the fact that this man has big feet, but he wears like one size bigger to play basketball than he regularly does. Like he wears a 14 to play basketball, but he's really a 13. I don't understand the logic behind that. I guess he's like, it helps me grip or something. I don't really know. If you know, let me know. It was so heartbreaking because you could see that he was trying his best. You could see that he was doing everything in his capabilities to help the team win, but the Bucks had Chris Middleton. Let's give Chris Middleton his flowers, y'all. Let's give Chris Middleton his flowers. Let's get the mid-range jumper his flowers as well, because he is like known for that now. And this isn't the first series or the first playoffs that he's really kept the Bucks in it. He did it in the bubble because we all know what happened in the bubble and it didn't work out, but he kept them in it. He kept them in this series as well, because Giannis is another case of the star who isn't really acting like the star. Because if you watch more than one Bucks game, especially more than the Game 7 that happened this weekend, you saw that Giannis was actually being the star people asked him to be. He is being the star that they're paying him to be. And it shouldn't take a Game 7 situation. It shouldn't take, your season being on the line for you to be that star. Like, when the time comes when you got to step up, when you got to put on your big boy pants, you got to be the superstar. They're paying you to be the superstar. And every time that I feel like the game is on the line, I literally just feel like Giannis is like, oh, here you go, Chris. Here you go. I don't want them to talk about me. Here you go. I don't want them to talk about me. And I'm not talking about it in like a bad light or where I guess I kind of am. But you have to be the superstar. Like, you shouldn't let, the crowd counting down, to 10 seconds make you airball every single first free throw. Like, come on now. Giannis, come on now. You can't do that. You can't do that in a Game 7. And 100% if James Harden or Kyrie, definitely if they were both in that game, Bucks wouldn't have won. Bucks would not have won because he airballed every single one of them. And yes, James Harden played. I know that James Harden played, but I'm not considering James Harden as he played solely because this man was limping on one leg. But I do have to say, when he called defense off of Giannis, when he called the double team help off of Giannis, great TV, great moment. He's probably never going to talk about it until he retires, but I cannot wait till he talks about it because I know the interview is going to be muy gusto. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that, but I know it's going to be great. But yeah, I don't consider Harden to have been, because he wasn't 100%. As you know, he was barely taking shots, and every shot that he took was so off because you could see that he was hurting. You could see that he was in pain, and I just hate it for KD. I hate it for KD because he tried his best. This man played every single minute of the last 3 games or the last 2 games. I don't even remember. They're all kind of starting to run together, but he played every single minute, and he still didn't get the desired result. But also in another way, I'm kind of glad the Nets lost, so like KD can rest up, James Harden can rest up, and Kyrie can rest up, so we can see them next season in their full capacity. The like KD, LeBron, we can really figure out who's the best basketball player right now in basketball. You can't really just make these assessments on people when one's hurt, one's not, one's literally doing everything for the team. Even though I hate those conversations of who the best basketball player is, I listen to them because 9 out of 10 some people are funny, and I like to hear their reasoning. Sometimes their reasoning is ridiculous, but I do like to hear their reasoning. The Bucks and the Hawks, who saw that coming? Watching Game 7, I do think that Giannis kind of woke up and he's like, okay, I'm gonna get it done now. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the Bucks in the finals. I'd be shocked to see the Hawks in the final. Let me tell you that, girl. Or guy, actually a lot more guys listen to the pod than ladies do. So shout out to all the guys out there. But I'd be truly shocked to see the Hawks in the finals. But I wouldn't be upset. I feel like it would be fun. Like I said, the Hawks and the Suns. I would tune in. I'm going to tune in either way, whoever it is. I do not want the Bucks and the Clippers. Give me anything but the Bucks and the Clippers. Not the Bucks or the Clippers. Like, I'll take either the Bucks or the Clippers, but not them playing each other, because I can't. I don't want to do that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. The lottery's coming up. I made a video on it. It came out yesterday on Monday on YouTube. Make sure you go watch it. I talked about the lottery, the odds, how it works. You learn something. You're learning to live. Make sure to go check it out. Leave a comment down below if you go watch the video that came out yesterday, aka Monday. June 21st, the draft lottery video saying don't trust the process. And I know you came from the podcast that you're a real one. You're a real one if you go do that. So that's all I got for y'all this week, this episode. Make sure to come back on Thursday to listen to a very good podcast episode with, I'll tell you who it is. It's with Brittany Anderson, the assistant head coach for the Stanford's women's basketball team. Yeah, that won the national championship. So make sure you comment, you subscribe, you leave a review, you turn on some notifications, go over to the Instagram and follow Our Sports Convo so you don't miss anything, so you don't miss that episode. And then I have another great guest coming on next Thursday, and we're going to talk about some more basketball. So make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you're here because summer is here. Summer officially started today. Like for me, it's Monday. So summer officially started today. So we're in it. I hope you're all having a good summer. And have some fun vaxxed vacations. But as always, be safe, have fun, and don't be afraid to join the convo. I have been talking this entire time, and this has not been recording.